Okay, so this next video lecture is about our module number 8. So this is entitled Improperly Accumulated Earnings Tax for Corporation. So for our content for the discussion, so we will be discussing about BIR Form 1704, the documentary requirements and the procedures for filing. So to start with, let us discuss about BIR Form 1704. So when we say, or before we go to the BIR form, let us first discuss what is improperly accumulated earnings tax. So basically, this is a penalty tax upon a corporate taxpayer for accumulating so much net income after tax that is so much or beyond the reasonable needs of the business. So because in a corporate setup, stockholder owners get their share from the earnings of the corporation. This is through the dividends from the retained earnings. So this dividend declaration, this is dependent upon the will of the board of directors or upon the declaration of cash or property dividend to individual stockholder, and this dividend is subject to 10% final tax. So when there is no dividend declaration by the board of directors, this means that the government cannot impose taxes or collect taxes from them, and the government in this case will lose the revenue from the dividend tax. So because of that, this improperly accumulated earnings tax is imposed to recover the revenue that it should have earned from the dividend. So aside from the 10% final tax, the Securities and Exchange Commission also provides a penalty for this excess. Okay. So we go now to the BIR form that the entity will use in filing for the improperly accumulated earnings tax returns. So this is BIR Form 1704. So this form is to be filed by every domestic corporation classified as closely held corporation, except for banks and other non-bank financial intermediaries, insurance companies, taxable partnerships, general professional partnerships, non-taxable joint ventures, and enterprises duly registered with the Philippine Economic Zone Authority or PEZA, okay, and enterprises that are registered pursuant to the Basis Conversion and Development Act of 1992. And other similar laws shall render a true and accurate tax return in accordance with the provision of the tax code. So this return shall be filed within 15 days after the close of the year, immediately succeeding the taxpayer's covered taxable year. So this is what BIR Form 1704 looks like. Okay, so it has also the background information, the computation of the tax, okay, for the part 2, and then the details of payment. Okay, and this is the at the back, okay, of the return. So that's just it. Okay, anyway, this will only be filed by those corporations who do not declare dividends. Okay, that is the accumulated earnings tax penalty for them. So what are the documentary requirements? So here, they should include, aside from the BIR form, photocopy of their annual income tax return, which is 1702, with audited FS and or account information form of the covered taxable year duly received by the BIR, and the sworn declaration as to the dividends declared taken from the covered year's earnings and the corresponding tax withheld if there is any. So there are two requirements only. So for the procedure, they are going to fill up BIR Form 1704 in 3 copies. So if there is payment, they will proceed to the nearest authorized agent bank of the Revenue District Office where they are registered, and they will present this BIR Form 1704 together with the required attachments and the payment. If there is no authorized agent banks, then they can proceed to the Revenue Collection Officer or the duly authorized city or municipal treasurer located within their Revenue District Office where they are registered, and present, or they are going to present their accomplished BIR Form 1704. So here, they will receive their copy of the duly stamped and validated form from the teller of the authorized agent, bank, revenue collection officer, or the duly authorized city or municipal treasurer. So if there is no payment, then they will proceed to the revenue district office where they are registered, and they are going to present this BIR Form 1704 together with the required attachments. And after that, they will be receiving their copy of the duly stamped and validated form from the RDO representative. So that's how they are going to file this BIR form. So the filing date again is within 15 days after the close of the taxable year. Okay, so those are for the accumulated earnings tax for the corporation. So basically, this is just an overview for you. Okay, so for you to know that the corporation should actually declare the dividends, because this is the right of their shareholders. So if they will not declare the dividends, then BIR will go after them using this improperly accumulated earnings tax or penalty. So that's all for our module number 8.